Hello dear students, today we are going to read CBSE class 6 history lesson 1 and the name of the lesson is who, what, where and when. In this lesson we are dealing with all the facts that had happened during the ancient time. As you know, history is the study of past. Whenever we talk about our past, that becomes history. But how do we come to know about history? That is what we will read in class 6. And we are talking about ancient history. Ancient history means old history. History is divided into 3 parts. Ancient history means old history, medieval history means middle history, and modern history. So 6th class we are dealing with ancient history. What can we know about the past? What are the all things that we should know about our past? Like what people used to eat in those times, what type of clothes they used to wear, and what kind of houses they used to make and they used to live inside. So this is all we are always curious to know. How were the lives of the hunters, herders, farmers, rulers, merchants, priests, crafts, artists, musicians, and scientists? This is also very interesting to know. What games children used to play and what stories they used to hear from their grandparents or parents, and what songs and what festival they used to sing and celebrate. Isn't it interesting to find out about the past? If you watch Doraemon, then you must be knowing about the gadget that is time machine. So sometime don't you wonder you should also had that gadget, and so that you can explore all the history. People have lived along the bank of Narmada river for several 100,000 years. These people were skilled gatherers. See, this is map of India and this is Narmada river originating from Madhya Pradesh. This portion is Madhya Pradesh, then it flowing towards Maharashtra, and this is Maharashtra state. Thereafter this river is falling into Arabian Sea. So the first human beings in India we are talking about, not of the world, they had settled around this river Narmada and they were skilled gatherers. Now what are gatherers? Gatherers are the people who gathered their food from the jungle. They collected roots, fruits and other forest produce for their food. They also sometimes hunted animals. You know why they hunted animals and why they gathered fruits and roots? Because they were not knowing to do agriculture and they were not knowing to make and cook food. So whatever they used to get from the forest, they used to kill those animals, they used to eat those fruits, they used to eat those seeds and roots. This way they used to fill their and satisfy their hunger. But nowadays we know what crop is, how agriculture is done, how plants and trees are grown, and how we cook our food. So slowly and gradually earlier human beings, they also started settling down. This we will read in further lesson. Now find the Suleiman and Kirthar hills to the northwest. This is the map of India, and see earlier, now this is in Pakistan, but earlier this was also the part of India. This is Suleiman and this is Kirthar. These are the ranges of hills. In Suleiman and Kirthar hills, where women and men first began to grow crops such as wheat and barley. So the first ever crop which were grown in India were wheat and barley, and the time was 8,000 years ago. So before this, the earlier human beings, they used to kill and hunt the animals. Thank God now they have started doing the agriculture, and this way they knew how to grow the crops. People also began to rear animals. Right? They also started domesticating animals. Earlier they used to scare from the animals. Animal used to run away from them, and they also used to run away from the animals. But by the time changed slowly. They became friendly with some of the animals which were not so dangerous that time. Now see, sheep is never dangerous, goat is also never dangerous, cow and buffalo, they are also very not so dangerous animals. So when they saw these animals are very beneficial and helpful to them, they started giving them fodder, giving them grass and such. In such way they started domesticating them. The places where rice was first grown are to the north of the Vindhyas. Vindhyachal, you must have heard this mountain name also. Now see, this is Vindhya. This is Vindhyachal range. These are the range of mountains. So it was the region where the first rice was grown in India. And how do we know all these things? Because in coming chapters you will know how we have found that rice was first grown over here. Trace the river Indus and its tributaries. Around 4700 years ago, some of the earliest cities flourished on the bank of these rivers. This is Indus River. It is emerging from Ladakh and going from Pakistan and then falling into the Arabian Sea. Indus River. So the earliest human being, they had settled down along these river banks also. Civilization I am talking about, you must have heard about the civilization of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. If you have not heard, then in class 6 you are going to read about these two civilizations. Civilization means complete community, village or town. So these are the remains of those earliest cities which were there around 4700 years ago. They were being found by some of Indian archaeologists along the Ganga and its tributary river. See, this is river Ganga emerging from Uttarakhand and then moving from all these states and falling into Bay of Bengal. Ganga, the land of Ganga is very fertile and there are very vast and big plains which are in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar. The south of the Ganga was known as Magadha. There was one very famous kingdom, Magad. It was near the south side of river Ganga, which is now in Bihar. This Magad is now the part of Bihar. People traveled in earlier times. We are talking about why people travel. Why don't they sit and stayed inside their houses only? They traveled from one part to another part in search of livelihood, sometime to feed their family or to do the business or trade. Merchants traveled with caravans. Caravans, see, when people used to travel with lot of animals and cattle with them and lot of people also with them, then this process is known as, this thing is known as caravan. Carrying valuable goods from place to place, because they were carrying a very valuable and expensive material with them. If they would had walked alone, then what would had happened? Some dacoits and some thieves would have attacked them on the way and had taken all the goods of them from them. So that's why to fight with the enemies, to fight with the dacoits and the thief, they used to move in the group of 100 to 200, sometimes 500 people together. Names of land. Our country is known by both words, India and Bharat. The word India comes from the Indus, called Sindhu in Sanskrit. See, this Indus river has given us the name India. When the Iranians and the Greeks, they were the outsiders, they were the rulers of other country. When they came to attack India, or they came to India for the purpose of trade. Trade means business. Some were 2500 years ago, they called it Hindus. They called this area Hindus or the Indos. And the land to the east of the river was called India, and thus that Hindus and Indos converted into India, and therefore name of Hindustan or Bharat became India. The name Bharata was used for a group of people who lived in the northwest and who were mentioned in the Rig Veda. Later it was used for the country also, and the name Bharatvarsh is mentioned in Rig Veda. And in Rig Veda, during the Rig Vedic time, Bharat was not known as India. This King Bharat was the son of Dushyant, King Dushyant and Shakuntala. He was very brave. When he was young, he used to play with the lions and tigers, and just because of his bravery he became very famous king, and our country has got our name Bharat from his name. We can find out about our past by reading the books that were written long ago. These books are called manuscript because they are written by hand. Manu means hand. So all these books, they were written by hands by the authors in the earlier times, because there were no printing press or no printer in those days. That's why they had written them beautifully with the help of ink. And these are not the pages like we have nowadays. These are sometimes the leaves. They were written in the palm leaves. These were written on palm leaves. See, this is the tree of palm, and when it is dried up, it becomes like this. And once they are dried properly, then the author write on them, and this is the hole so that they can bind all these palms leaves together and make one book. And this tree is known to grow in the Himalayas. And these manuscripts, these books dealt with all kinds of subject, religious beliefs and practices. See, Rig Veda, when I am talking about, so it deals with religion, Hindu religion. And this is one very famous book written by Maharishi Valmiki, and the name of the book is Ramayana. So it deals with the king and queens of that time. And other books also are written in those time. They were they were Ayurveda, which were about the medicine and the science. Inscriptions are writing on hard surface. This is one of the example of Ashoka's inscription. This is written on the stone pillar. This is very tall pillars, and they are found all over India. And these are the teaching of Lord Buddha, or the teachings of Ashoka himself. Sometimes these inscriptions are giving orders and advice to their people. In the past, when kings wanted their orders inscribed so that people could see, read and obey them, they use inscriptions for this purpose. Nowadays, whenever there are some new announcement, then politician and all the people, they come on the TV and do the announcement, or they announce it through the newspaper or radio or other source of information. But that time there were no such communication mediums, so they used to inscribe their orders on these pillars or on the stones like this. And these, see, even nowadays, even till date, they are found in the good shape. Archaeologists. Now, who are archaeologists? They are the people who study the remains of building made of stone and brick, painting and sculptures. These are two archaeologists. They are studying this house which has been discovered at some place. They will find out how old this building is, who used to live here, what kind of things were used inside this house. This is what the job of the archaeologist. They also explore and excavate. They sometimes dig under the surface of the earth. They try to find tools, weapons, pots, pans, ornaments and coins, because all these things will help them to study the history. They also sometimes study the skeletons found interesting job they are doing. Historians. Now, who are historians? Historians study the past, often use the word source to refer the information found from manuscript, inscription, and archaeology. Suppose archaeologists, they have found some manuscript or inscription. So the historians will compile those information into a book. They will write book about those things, and then it will become history. And so the people who write about the past, they are known as historians. What do date means? The year are counted from the date to the birth of Jesus Christ, the founder of Christianity. All dates before the birth of Christ are counted backward and usually have the letters BC, means before Christ, added on. Suppose this is the period when Lord Jesus Christ was born. So before his birth, all the years, they are known as BC, means before Christ, and they are counted backwards. And all the years which are after the birth of Jesus Christ, they are known as AD, means Anno Domini. Anno Domini is the term which is given to the birth of Jesus Christ. So right now we are living in 2020 AD. Okay. Sometimes CE is used to instead of AD and BC. The letter CE stands for Common Era and BCE stands for Before Common Era. Nowadays, AD has been changed to CE and BC has been changed to BCE. Thank you so much.